I should have done it. Hey, we're live. We're live from Tokyo. I'm with a bunch of hardcore Tokyo windsurfers. Here they are.
Yeah.
And we're gonna try to do. Easy. We're gonna try to do the live stream on the go. We'll see how that works. I'm not sure. This is my last. This is my last few days in Japan. So after this, we're going to be doing the live streams every Sunday as normal scheduled programming. I think there has been time changed. So check. I'll do an update. I'll do an update. I'll do an update for the time that it works because I think that daylight savings has ended in both Europe and America. Hawaii doesn't do daylight saving times. I'll be back in Hawaii, so I'll be doing it based on Hawaii time. So, like I said, we are in Tokyo. I'm on the go. I met up with a group of Tokyo windsurfers, and yeah, we're on the go. And I figured this is a good time. It's 9 p.m. Japan time, which is my normal time that I do the live streams. I want to know if you sailed this week. Say hi in the comments. I'm going to load up the Facebook group. So we're going to do it a little bit differently today because I'm on the go. Hey, Matt, good to see you. So because I'm on the go, we're doing it a little bit differently. I've got my phone going for the live stream, obviously, and then I've got an iPad somewhere here with the Facebook group. So that means that I'm not going to have the visual of what I'm talking about, but you guys can follow along. I'm going to go through the posts just as they appear in the Facebook group and talk about them. Talk about them as they show up. And so I won't be able to go through frame by frame, but I'll still be able to give a fair amount of coaching. And because I wasn't able to give full coaching, I'll do some more comments on the posts as well. But thank you everyone for showing up, and I'm glad you guys are able to make it work despite the difficult time zones. Hey Matt, Jorg, Hans had a good session on Friday. All right, let's quick. I have to give the Japanese crew a chance to say hello. So I'm gonna just throw the camera around the room, give these guys a chance to say hello. All right, guys, say hello.
Yeah, back loop is easy.
Yunishi loves the back loops.
Yeah.
Here we are. It's my last few days in Japan. So Matt had a good session. Nice to hear it. Good. Sunny.
Come to Omaezaki.
These guys want you guys
Yes,
to
yes.
come to Japan. Japan has really good windsurfing.
Come to
So,
Omaezaki.
do you have any questions? I'm going to get into the coaching in just a second. But do you have any questions about windsurfing in Japan? If you do, these are the guys to ask. Feel free to throw them in the comments, and I'll throw it to the crew. In general, Japan is really good windsurfing. I think Omaezaki is probably the most well-known spot, but there's really good windsurfing in Kyushu, in Hokkaido, in the south. So all over Japan, there is good windsurfing. Where we are now, the season is more in the winter time, but in other places you get summertime spots with typhoons coming through. It's a really interesting country. I love visiting here. I think this is my 7th time in the country, and it's a lot of fun. And the windsurfing is pretty good too. So if you want to do a trip that combines windsurfing with some exploration and culture, Japan is a good place to do it. And I think an unexpected one. Do you guys get? I'm gonna ask our Japanese guys a question. And again, I'm gonna get into the coaching. I've got an iPad, and I'm gonna go through it. I've got to make sure turn off this. I'm gonna go through the Facebook group. But first, if we have any questions for the Japanese crew, I think that now is a great time to do it. So, guys, I've got a question. Do you get windsurfing tourists? Do people come to Japan for windsurfing? Do you see in Omaezaki, do you see Europeans? Do you see people from other countries coming to visit?
どうですか海外からウィンドサーフィンツアーに来てますか No.
No.
We don't really see.
No.
No.
That's interesting because the windsurfing here is pretty good. The windsurfing is good. Where would you say, so if someone is going to travel to Japan for windsurfing, where should they go and when should they go?
いつどこに行ったら日本でウィンドサーフィンツアーできますかって。
11月から3月。
So he say from November to March will be the best season. He's talking about a place like Omaezaki.
Okay, so Omaezaki season, which is the spot, it's about 3 hours from Tokyo, so you can combine it with a trip to Tokyo. It's about 3 hours from Kyoto, so you could combine it to a trip to Kyoto. And it's a winter time spot. It can be very cold. It can be very good, very hardcore, very windy. In December, January into February, it's almost like a starboard tack Pozo. It can be so windy, 3 sevens, 4 O's, and very consistent wind, consistent like Pozo, but it's cold. It is cold, so you need a good wetsuit. Japanese wetsuits are very good. You can get one here if you don't have one. Max, right on. Max dropped 17 kilograms. I'm proud of you, man. That's good. We were talking about this a year ago, and I'm glad that the gear feels transformed with the lighter weight. I lost a lot of weight over the last year, and I feel the same thing. So Jorg also loves windsurfing, skiing, and good food. Yeah, I like it. Yeah, Japan is everything. Max, beach culture. How is beach culture different from European or U.S. windsurf destinations? Does it still have the laid-back vibe? Do you think that the beach culture in Japan still is laid back? Are Japanese windsurfers relaxed? I think so. But what do you guys think? Yeah, these guys agree. All right, I'm gonna get into the Facebook group coaching. I can't do that from the phone, so I'm gonna do it with the iPad. What I could do is switch the camera around. We'll see if this works. Again, we're on the go. Thank you guys for being good sports with this, and I'm going to see if we can get this done. So first up, we've got a post from Jakob. He says he finally got his new camera to work. Jakob, if you're in the chat, the camera setup looks awesome. This is some kind of 360 cam with a mount that looks like it's sticking out from the boom. It looks like you've got someone in front of you filming you. I really like this angle. So Jakob, can you share your setup? Just take some pictures of the setup and what the camera is, because I think it looks really cool. All right, I'm going to start the video. All right, start the video. See if I can go. So Jakob is trying to improve his wave riding. I'm going to see if I can switch my camera around. Oops, turn off the camera. Let's see. Can I do both? No. Okay. So this kind of works. Again, we're on the go. Pardon everything. You guys are good sports. So here's Jakob. He wants to improve his wave riding, keep his speed. So the first thing I see, Jakob, is I want to see you leaning over more. So what I want to see is in that bottom turn, I want you to try to touch your nose to the water, stick your butt out, get your chest low. That's the biggest thing. Stick your butt out, get your chest low. That will help get the board on the rail, and then go for the high five. And so you're trying to do the work of the cutback, but can you? If you guys are watching, I turn it off. So sorry, we got a little echo going on. So go for the high five. So the two big things, Jakob, is that we want to see you stick your butt out and put your chest down in the bottom turn, and that will help get the rail engaged so that you don't need to go as much on the tail in order to turn the board, which will help you keep your speed. And then two is for the cutback, let the wave do the work. So when you're trying to do the work, you're muscling it and losing speed. But if you let the wave do the work, you're doing the high five, you just put the board in the right position and then let the wave do the work, then you're able to keep speed. Because again, what we're trying to do is connect with the energy of the wave. There's storms in the ocean creating these waves. And what we're doing when we're trying to ride the wave is take that energy, harness that energy, put it into the board and the sail, which are designed for this, and use that to accelerate. So if you're doing the work, that means that you're disconnected from that energy source, and you're not going to have as much speed and power as if you were connected. So just put the board in the right position, get that high five on the cutback. So those are the two main things. In the bottom turn, chest down, butt out. In the cutback, focus on getting that high five. and you're on it. I like to see it. Good progress. All right. Next up, we've got a post from Corey, who's looking to improve in the waves. So I'm gonna flip the camera around again, see how this works. All right, back camera. I wish I could do both at the same time. So Corey, the first thing I see is I want you to try wave sailing with a lower boom. Now, you might not like it, but it's important to experiment. There's a lot of personal preference in boom height. And I think one of the most important things when you're talking about boom height, mast track position, foot position, thin size, is that there are some heuristics and rules that you can follow. But the most important is experimenting. You don't want to just set it and forget it. You want to always be playing around. Your boom looks very high. In the end, you might really like that setting. But what's important is that you're comfortable across the range of different boom heights, so that you know what it feels like. This is a pretty high setting. I think lower boom is going to be really interesting for you. In the cutback itself, I like. Let's see here. I like that you're getting on the rail. You're getting low, sitting back. I would like to see a little bit more. I like this. I like this position. My camera's not really focusing here. I think you could hang a little bit more from the boom. So you're doing a good job of not pulling yourself up too much, and you are getting that nice carve. We don't have the full sequence here. I think you could kind of sit your butt back even farther, try and touch your butt to the water, and then continue this turn around. It looks like you're looking with your head down the line. At this point in the turn, you can be looking a little bit more back around so that you can complete that carve. And that's the number one thing I would say. But otherwise, I'd like to see more photos. The only other thing I could say, I mean, again, we're just looking at 3 photos. It's a small sequence, so it's hard for me to generalize. But to try to go a little bit more vertical in these cutbacks. So we've covered 3 things. 1, lower the boom. 2, try and sit that butt back longer and turn the head once you get around most of the cutbacks, so that you're really focusing on the cutback and not thinking about that next turn. Because that's one of the big mistakes, is as you're in the cutback thinking about your next turn already, and what that does is then it starts putting you into that bottom turn instead of completing the cutback, and those are opposite motions. So, all right, does that make sense? We are going to move on. I hope this format is okay. I hope you guys can hear me. I hope everything's working well. Let me know in the chat if it's not. I've got to get the next post loaded up. All right, got some technical assistance going on. Perfect. All right, Sal asked a question. He really likes the chopper from Nash, and he's looking for equivalent low aspect sail. I don't have an answer, but maybe you guys do. So if you have an answer, let Sal know. Sal, I'm curious what you like about that sail. Maybe there are qualities that you like that can be found in a higher aspect sail as well. All right, next up, I did a post about what do you want to brag about. This is your chance to brag. That post is still up. I'm going to do question posts like this every week. I love hearing what you guys think. So this post, I love going through these comments. Talk about what you are proud of in your windsurfing. So often we're modest and we don't want to brag, but this is your chance to. I love seeing these comments. I read them all. Yeah, so awesome. All right, next up, Jan Thomas did a post about who first bottom turns in Omiyazaki. That's worth checking out. Then otherwise, we're caught up. So this is kind of like a speed run on the go coaching. Thank you guys for showing up. It's been difficult in Japan to make it work with the regular programming, on the road, traveling. I've got my family with me. So thank you for the last 3 weeks of being patient as I make work, different times, short notice, on the road. But next week, Sunday, I'm back in Hawaii, scheduled programming, regular time. I've got my normal setup. We'll have a nice long live stream. So if you've been saving questions, photos, videos, post it in the group, and we'll get to it next week, Sunday. And otherwise, I think that's it. So I've got a couple more minutes. If you have more questions about what we already talked about here or about Japan, now's your time to throw it in the chat. And then otherwise, I'm going to get back to my little evening in Tokyo. I hope everyone is good. I hope you've got a windy week coming up. Do you guys have anything you want to tell the windsurfing world? Here, let's throw the camera around. You've got a comment?
Yeah.
These guys are
easy. Take it easy.
Yeah, these guys are stoked. I'm going to be back in Germany in May. The plan is late May. Back in Germany, back in Europe. I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to going back to Maui. But once Maui gets flat, the waves start to disappear early May. It will be nice to be back in Germany, back in Europe. I'm looking forward to it. All right, everyone. I'm going to sign off. You guys know the drill. You can post your photos, videos, comments, all of the above in the Facebook group, and I'll get to it next week, Sunday. Look for a nice, long Sunday live stream next week. It's going to be my first time back in the studio after 3 weeks in Japan. Long trip, the longest I've ever been in Japan, and we've had a really good time. So if you have any questions about Japan, windsurfing in Japan, my trip in Japan, sightseeing, windsurfing, whatever, you can post that in the group as well, because I will be fresh from this experience and keen to talk about it. All right, everyone, take care. Have a good week, and I will see you next week, Sunday. I hope it's windy. I hope you get on the water. Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye.